Hello.
Hi everybody, this is Drayan the Wolf, and I know what a lot of you are saying. He already has a warrior, it's level 21. Why is he playing a level 1 warrior? Well, to answer your question, because I don't like playing a Draenei. So this warrior is, in
Peace be with
essence,
you.
a replacement for my Draenei, and will be the warrior we continue with. So, if you like the Draenei run, well, stick around. I hope you're gonna like this one. If you didn't like the Draenei run, well, hopefully this one will be more entertaining for you. And I don't know. But the Night Elf class is, in my hands, my favorite of World of Warcraft. It is the class that I first started playing, or the race I first started
I am
playing
listening.
with my very first hunter.
How may I help?
It's just got a special place in my heart. As you know, the heal over time effect, which I had right here in my warrior, or my Draenei warriors. You know, I just don't think about it when I'm playing as a warrior, and so it's going to be unused until, you know, I die in a 5-man, then I curse myself for being an idiot because that could have saved me, or, you know, similar situations. So I'd just rather not do that to you guys or to me. So I traded that in for Shadow Meld. Very good ability. It basically removes your presence from combat. It's the only way I know how to put it. If you look here, when I get into a conflict, here, let's start one. Notice how my name color went red and that appeared. That means I'm in combat. It means I can't do crap or diddle. I can't log out. I can't anything. The only way I can exit the game in the combat scenario is to force close World of Warcraft. And of course, why many of you would say, okay, what's the big deal with that? Others of you are going to nod your head in confirmation that it is a bad thing. As you can see, I already grabbed my weapons
Go in peace.
that I will need. So, but rest assured, Luna Dancer is probably going to be deleted. I have not deleted her as of yet. And if I get enough comments or something to say, oh, we bring back the Draenei, we like the Draenei, well then I'll shift back to her.
Greetings. Go in peace.
So it's technically
I am Anu, goddess of war.
so. But to those of you who didn't necessarily mind, I was playing a Draenei over a Night Elf or what have you. You didn't care what class it was, you just cared that it was a Draenei. Well, you can breathe easy because I will be bringing a Draenei to this channel by the name of Inria. She will be my shaman. And I have no idea when I'm going to record her. I may do the first episode
What is nature's call?
tonight. I may do it tomorrow. I may do it next week.
Is there trouble?
I have no idea. But
I'll get something first.
for those of you kind of confused or whatever about what I mean,
Target.
well, I mean just what I say. I mean, I cannot, and I cannot stress this enough, but I cannot stay to play a warrior or a shaman or anything. So I am probably going to be leveling
Target.
2 or 3 tanks.
Ah, the great outdoors.
One head is better. Simultaneously.
Hi.
Peace be with you. Illumine you.
So I can just play and record how I'm comfortable playing. So for you people that want me just to level my warrior, I'll try to level a warrior a little bit more than my other classes. For those people that want some other class, well, I'll get to it, I promise. It's just gonna take me some time.
Vishnu Dalvier. May the stars guide you.
What can I do for you?
So, but I am planning on leveling every single class. that World of Warcraft has to offer. So I will be getting to the Paladin. No. The Paladin I will be getting to relatively soon. Again, I don't know when exactly, but I like playing Paladin. But I will be getting to it because it is one of the two classes that is capable of tanking, healing, and doing damage.
What brings you here?
So it is all three. The other class is the Druid, but unlike the Paladin, its combinations actually allow for a magical range DPS and a melee DPS. So there's that.
Don't touch me!
We'll be getting to it and playing it, as well as the Druid. Now, I admit it's kind of funny. Years ago, during, I think it was Wrath of the Lich King, I played a Druid. But I played it as a tree or healer. And finally I stopped playing the Druid as a which, if you're a WoW fan, is a magical ranged DPS class. But since its changes and everything else, I have sworn off the Boomkin. As much fun as I have
I need to get closer.
calling myself a Boomkin and everything, I'm not a fan of the changes that have been done to the class. And so I no longer play the Boomkin. I play a cat or melee DPS. Let's see. And also when leveling the Boomkin, or leveling my cat, especially at these levels, I really don't feel like screwing around or wasting my time. I go Guardian Bear. It's kind of funny. It started off on kind of a dare or a challenge, you could say. A friend of mine who was the whole reason I started playing World of Warcraft. He plays a druid. Lafayette is the character's name. And he's a healer. Don't get me wrong, druid healers are some of the best healers in the game if played correctly. but most of their heal effects are heal over time or HOTS. And, you know, I'm not really a HOT fan. So I wonder if you're gonna follow me down.
The loon be with you.
It is just not my style to sit back and wait for the
I am listening.
healing
Good
over
luck,
time
friend.
to take effect. I like my heals to be very direct, in your face, as
Goddess bless you.
a friend that I personally dragged in to World of Warcraft because I was tired of
Asha.
tanks and healers
Galdiab.
and well DPS. In short,
Elune be with you.
I was just tired
Good luck, friend.
of
May the stars guide you.
everybody, everything.
I am honored. Be careful.
I was just tired. So I dragged him in
Hello.
hoping he would tank for me
Asha fell out.
Can I assist you?
because I had had
Till next
a
week.
lot of issues with tanks.
May the stars guide
He did eventually join. He enjoyed playing his tank until the pre-patch for, well, what you currently see dropped during Warlords, or I don't remember the name of the expansion. Warlords of Draenor or something like that. But anyway,
you. Peace be with you. Good luck.
so
Del Nadre.
you know, I leveled something with him to, you know, just help him along. And which eventually got us into trouble because I didn't realize that if you played on an account that your friends play on, that you were getting bonus experience when you were leveling. And that led to quite a few awkward situations for us. Because I thought it was weird as hell that he was getting hit once by a trash mob in a 5-man, and his health was going down by 25%. That healer took his eyes off him, lost line of sight on him,
Hello.
anything.
Be careful.
He would drop almost as fast as, you know, you can snap your fingers.
What brings you here?
I didn't know that
Where
Blizzard
the stars go.
had put in that feature. So but we eventually got up to level 100 and everything was good. I will be playing a Death Knight. For those of you who were around during the Wrath of Lich King days, or even before that, will be familiar with the Death Knight class. It's basically what the Demon Hunters are today. They were new, they were shiny, they were everywhere. I am not joking. They literally were everywhere. So if you started playing during Cataclysm or
Goddess, watch over you.
hell, even 6 months after,
Elune, light your path. Be careful.
you will know what I'm talking about.
What brings you here?
So,
Farewell.
or if you went on to, dang, I can't remember who sings the song, but the song is titled Death Knight Spree. It really is as close to the truth as you can get in a video game. But it was horrendously bad. We met them everywhere we went. Even here in the Night Elf starting town, I saw dwarves, I saw humans. They were all Death Knights. So. So it took me a good long while to actually decide I wanted to pick them up and get them. But I'm very glad I did. Death Knight is one of my favorite classes to play for a multitude of reasons. I play as primarily a Frost DK. Now you may or may not remember, Frost DK was the original tank spec for the Death Knight. But so many people played the Death Knight tank, but took, as a Frost DK, but took blood specializations, as many as they could, whenever they could. Blizzard decided to change their roll up and made the blood specialization the tank. Obviously, this is my warrior. Should give a little history. The warrior was my very first melee DPS class.
You again?
I'm not gonna say it was my first melee experience in World of Warcraft because I had a little bit of warrior or melee experience on my hunter, but not a heck of a lot. And
Goddess bless you.
What brings you here? No. Farewell.
wish you'd give me that quest earlier, but whatever.
Hello.
And also,
Well, good luck,
shaman.
friend.
Well, as technically any WoW player know, he does have a melee
I'm listening. Good luck.
in their spec. They can be an enhancement shaman. And those shaman are good, they're great, but I kind of want to go with one of my friends who played an enhancement shaman who just got tired of Blizzard, well, basically, as he put it, bending his character over and hitting him with the nerf button repeatedly. Since I play Elemental Shaman, primarily I did not experience it to his degree of the taste, but I have experienced that feeling on a number of classes. Luckily, Blizzard pulled its head out of its butt and alright, sorry. Dang. There are no imps here. Sorry about that. When I'm playing a game, when I'm taking any action, I tend to go quiet. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, but Ghostcrawler, or Ghostcaller, he played a good while, but basically when he was done, we were working together at the time. He turned to me and said, you know, I'm done with WoW, but there is one thing. I asked him what the one thing was because I was kind of curious about it. And he goes, well, I played Elemental Shaman in Burning Crusade. And I went, okay. I'm playing an Enhancement Shaman now. But I've never played a Rusting Shaman. I kind of want to get that out of my system. And, you know, I asked him what he did. And he goes, you know, just want to rest of Shaman. Alright. Well,
It is too
well. I go, Loft feels that playing the bear is common. Just can't play it. And trust me, he was not very good at it. I was there, I was present for some of his more shameful runs as a bear. But so we proceeded to, well, we logged in a WoW. We chose a server. We just went to the choose a server page, picked a random server, and Druid, he made a shaman. And we went, alright, that's how we're gonna do it. And we leveled those characters all the way to max, which I believe at the time it was Cataclysm, so 85. Yeah, 85. Confined to work, and he was like, you know, that was kind of fun. And I go, well, let's do it again. Chose Paladins next and leveled them. And then I can't remember exactly what happened after that, but you can get the gist of it. I will be leveling the Hunter class. Now, before you start spamming me with all sorts of insults and everything about the Hunter class, calling me a huntard or huntarded or whatever, you know, I'm just gonna ban you. So if you feel the absolute need to do it, then go on ahead. I do not currently know how to ban people, but I guarantee you I will learn. Because one thing I know, without a doubt, is the most hated class in World of Warcraft is the original class I started with, the Hunter. And I would like to say it is without merit, but I can't. There's notorious for gear stealing, or ninjaing gear. They're just bad. but I am not a fan of the discrimination. I believe every hunter should be given a few pulls or whatever before you make up your mind if they are a huntard or not. Because I believe there are good ones and there are bad ones. You know, you have no idea who's at the keyboard and mouse behind the screen. It could be someone like me who just started. Fresh, ready to go, experience everything that World of Warcraft has to offer, and to run into that hatred and that prejudice over the class they play. That's not right. So, please people, if you notice a hunter doing something that they shouldn't in a 5-man, don't jibe at them. Don't kick them from your group immediately without, you know, giving them a chance. That's all I'm saying. Just give them a chance. And if they prove that they are huntard, well then, I guess you should have kicked them from your group. But good on you for at least waiting until you knew for a fact that they are a huntard before you kicked them from your group. Because I cannot tell you how annoying it is to wait, say, 45 minutes to an hour and a half for a queue, get in the queue, get just loaded, don't even pull the first damn mob, and the tank or one of the other DPS or the healer go, oh, we got a huntard in our group, and instant kick, or not say anything at all and just kick. So give them a chance, and if they prove that they are a huntard, kick away. Thank you, God. Excuse me for 1 minute while I set up my skills. Alright.
I don't have a target.
But as I was saying, I will be playing a hunter at some point. And I do remember the fact that I was supposed to be talking about the issue with warriors when I went on the side tangent story of Ghost Caller. time I had a friend who I had helped. This is back in Burning Crusade, mine.
Greetings.
Helped him level.
How may I help?
I gave him the tricks that I knew.
Go in peace.
Ishnuala. Go in me.
You know, I gave him all the help he could. He knew full well that if he contacted me for help, I wouldn't just go, oh, hold on a second, or anything. I would actually help him. In those days, I was pretty quiet. I didn't talk much in guild chat or anything like that. So, but he knew I was an alright person, and
I am honored.
he
Farewell.
would ask me some questions. I couldn't answer all of his questions because I wasn't a warrior, so I would link him to websites and other things where he could learn the answers that he was looking for. I quit playing in Burning Crusade and started up again the end of Burning Crusade, early Wrath, and I noticed his name wasn't in the guild anymore. I thought it was, you know, I thought he quit playing or he moved guilds, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Greetings.
So, you know, I
What
just
brings you
didn't
here?
know what happened to him. Yeah. Sorry, I had hair in my mouth.
What brings you here?
You know, I went on and played. I eventually, you know, Wrath of the Lich King came out. And, you know, I was soon too busy, you know, focusing on my characters, my level. To really care too much about it or anything. And he just drifts off in the background. And then I quit playing early Wrath of the Lich King. Because I just saw it was more questing, it was more doing this and doing that. It was just more. And at the time I couldn't take it, so I quit playing. and I'd known that it would become my favorite expansion, probably wouldn't not just stop there. I would have played every dang day and enjoyed the hell out of it. But I digress. My buddy Lafayette, he came to me one day, he goes, you still got a character at level 80, right? And I go, well, 78, 80, you know, somewhere right there. It's either 80 or it could, you know, very shortly to 80. Why? Nope. He goes, alright, you're going to raid with me and a bunch of the guild friends. I'm like, I'm going to do what? Because at the time I had not participated in a raid. And that's a long away. Off topic that will get me talking probably until the end of this video and through the next set of videos. Well, after much fumbling and mumbling and curses and threats to my life and whatever else he
Light be with you.
used to motivate my
Greetings.
butt
Off and away.
to log me back into World of Warcraft. I eventually logged in. I cannot remember if at the time, you know, before I had logged out, if I had, my mage was 80 or not. I know I had to do a few things to get her ready, but it was really that that coming back that cemented World of Warcraft in that I may stop playing for a while, but it always is just a break. I always come back sooner or later. It's just a matter of when, where, financial situation, but I will probably play World of Warcraft until the day I die or the day it dies. And unless work keeps me from it, I will be online at the last second of World of Warcraft, if it happens within my lifetime. If it doesn't, well, then I've got a game I can enjoy for the rest of my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the time I was playing a fire mage. And I knew, even then, I was aware of the, oh, this is the top tier class for the mage and all this talk. So I figured that was my one get out of jail free card with my friends. You know, I told them I would only play with them if I could play fire the way I wanted to as a fire mage. And instead of getting the ha ha ha's, you're funny, switch to Frost now, or that's cute. My friends went out and did their research and found out how I needed to spec myself, how I needed to gem my gear. They did all the legwork for me. So I had no choice. I had to raid. I'm very glad that they did that. You know, I really wish I could remember every single person that I raided with back then, but I can't. You know, I just because they started me, they had already progressed a little bit into the raid, but they started fresh that week, the week I joined. You know, I was brought up to speed on the rules for raiding and everything, and how Moonstalkers, which was the guild I was in, operated the raid. So,
Interesting.
Daylight's burning.
King's honor, friend. Well met.
Goddess bless you.
and it was just
Goddess watch over you.
an unbelievable experience. And I will never forget it. Even if I try, I doubt that's the one memory I will remember for all time. Oh, you lucky ass bear. But the reason I told you is one of the members on that raid team, then I found out the guys that helped my friend Alex and Lafayette doing the research on how to gear and level basically be a fire mage. Because at the time you went online to find anything about a mage, well, you want them as fast as possible to stack haste on.
The target.
Was pretty much all you got.
I need to get closer.
Which, according to this one character, was not a bad idea if you were going Frost. And, well, I'm a pyrokinetic. In real life, not a big fan of the cold. So, as you can imagine, didn't like playing Frost. And and I think that was before they even got the lead. Follower,
I have a target.
friend thing they have now. So,
Too far
but anyway,
away.
the character's name was Darkvan. Talking to him, I realized that it was Vaughn. You know, the young kid that I'd helped years ago in Burning Crusade figure out his warrior. I found out from him and Lafayette that he had progressed so much during that he had ended up joining the top elitist guild on the server we were playing on, which at the time was Lightbringer. And I have to say he definitely, just for the sheer amount of hours he was raiding per week.
I have a target.
But, and just a few things he mentioned over, you know,
Greetings.
and, you know, basically I asked him, I go, well, why did you
I'm out of
do this
range.
research? He goes, because I remember when I was, you know, young, dumb, and in a hurry, that it was you, technically, that, you know, you helped me.
Target.
He remembered that I helped him over the years, and he was more than happy to help me later down the road. Figured out that,
Target.
and figuring out that, or in figuring my raid spec for me.
I'm out of range.
So, you know, I used him, I kind of hold him to an example. Whenever somebody asks a question or something, I know the answer. I always answer it. If I don't know the answer, well, I'll keep my mouth shut. Which some people, honestly, I believe is the best thing they can do. is keep their mouth shut. You know, they say 95% are with intelligence. It's only 5% of the time you know when to talk. 95% of the time you know when to be quiet.
Target.
So I definitely agree with the statement. Some people do, some people don't. But anyway,
The target.
I told you that basically so you'd understand that when Wrath passed, when Cataclysm was, you know, going stale, I decided I was going to level Warrior. Well, I was going to level something. I didn't know precisely at that exact moment it was going to be a Warrior.
I'm out of range.
But I was pretty much set on because it wielded 2 weapons and talk to anybody who knows me. What you want my interest in combat? Alright. Let's talk the amount of weapons your character can hold. But it wasn't they just dual wielded, they dual wielded 2-handers. They had a skill in their talent tree called Titan's Grip, which, lucky for me, I have. At the time, it was I want to say Burning Crusade. Around there. That actually, you were a high enough level to take that talent, somewhere in there. So I started playing it, and God, I could not stand the Warrior. So I was on Mage one day, and I was screwing around doing my dailies or something, and I saw Vaughn log in, and I was like, let me ask Vaughn before I seriously throw in the towel on this class. So I asked Vaughn how he played a Fury,
What brings you here?
and he asked a very telling question.
Till next we meet.
Hey! Be seeing you.
What can I do for you? Be good.
But I asked him, you know,
I am honored.
How may I help?
I go, well, I've got one, playing it kind of sucks. I'm dying a lot. I'm not killing crap fast. I mean, I basically go, how do I play like you? And I got back an LOL. He goes, are you doing anything, important on your mage, or can't remember if I was on a mage, Madrid, or my shaman. Yes, I know, all ranged magical DPS. Well, capable ranged magical DPS. But at the time, I'd given up healing on Sunland and was strictly a boomkin. I did off-spec Resto though on my shaman. But that was for another guild raid I was a part of.
How may I
I was the off healer. In the second raid. So that raid never made it to the actual Lich King. So it's pretty fortunate there. I was basically made so that I only had to do one fight as Restoration, and I think I did that fight once or twice. I can't remember, but
Target something too far away.
anyway. I go, no, not really, and he goes, well, whereabouts is your warrior? And I told him where, and he goes, alright,
Target.
log onto your warrior and meet me. I go, where? And he goes, not too far. I'm not gonna go to Stormwind or anywhere near there. But I'm doing archaeology at the time. I'm trying to get, whatever the two-handed sword is. I go, alright. So I met him up, and he goes, oh. He goes, first tip for leveling a warrior? I go, sure. He goes, level in arms. And I'm like, it's a PvP spec, right? He goes, yeah. But you will die a lot less if you level in arms. I went,
What brings
all
you
right.
here?
And I spent a while talking to him. And once I had picked his brain enough, because he stopped doing his archaeology. So, because at one point I had was trying to inspect him, but he would run around so damn much that I couldn't keep the page open. I asked him to stop for a second so I could check out his spec and check out what he'd done. He obliged me.
There.
Is there trouble?
And, on an unrelated note, this is basically when I start crying. Anybody I know who does this quest will start crying. Hell, I'm pretty sure my ex is still wanting to murder me for having to do this quest. But, yeah, because of him, I think, really, that, my Fury Warrior got off the ground and on her feet. You know, I listened to his advice. I did everything he told me to do.
He's too far away.
Sorry, I love the Night Elves, but that quest right there proves that I love them. That is one of the most pain in my butt quests that, as far as I'm concerned, WoW has.
Get closer.
Sound difficult when you go into it, but getting those bear fur can.
I need to get closer.
What was it that I always used to say? Excellent. When made her want to pull out her own hair. Something like that. But sometimes you just get lucky. Hopefully that was it. I still have quite a few Night Elves to go in my level list. And I am sure one of them will prove me right. It is just a question of when. But yeah, that was my very first Fury Warrior. And I've been happily leveling ever since. Now, I don't.
What is nature's call?
Don't get me wrong.
Ishnu del Diab. Ashar Salam.
Where's Bull?
Greetings.
Yeah, basically during that you have the option of choosing the blessing of the bear,
Or
cat,
thou may I
or
help.
the stag.
Del Naris.
I'll get him soon enough.
Feel free to browse. May the stars guide you.
Peace be with you.
Elun be with you. Goddess watch over you.
Ishnu Allah. Asha Fela. I am honored. Del Madras.
Well, everybody, that is, well, 16, not 15, but it has reached the time that I have to say goodbye. Until next time, and I will be continuing with Lunaria here. So, everybody, I hope you have a good day, or night, whatever it is, and I'll see you later.
I wish you well.